So the woman is saying that she's gonna stay in here another night for her ticket, and that I can stay with her another night. But let's just go back into the details about my son. So she don't want me to leave yet, but I'm gonna keep my bag packed, and I'm gonna finish telling y'all this information because I'm not gonna have time to talk once she gets here. Let me go into this information. Everybody is trying to lure me from my son. They were trying to harm me in Atlanta before I came out here. I had a family member saying something as if I don't need to go to this woman home. Um, in a way, like, oh, you need to get a job and you need to do this. And then I got people that's trying to lure me back out the state, offering me places to stay out of state. And then I got them trying to make my entire family, even family that's here in Texas, act oblivious to what's going on and what their agenda is, what they're trying to do to me and my children. And um, they have it set up to where they want everybody to just have me outside on the streets and just pretty much just set me up like that. Um, so they're trying to lure me, and they have Cynthia with saying she's got a restraining order against me, saying that I cannot come to her home. And Austin, this is first of all, I shot Cynthia's son, Austin, and if you look him up, he's a convicted felon and he's white. And he's a young white man, but he's my child's father. And he threatened to molest my son with Cynthia and Joseph Olveea. And I'm about to be forced to call CPS, and everybody is trying to lure me. So for me to have family members that know what's going on trying to tell me, like, paint me out a certain way when that's my child, it can no longer continue that way. And try to use my finances or anything that's abuse. It is abuse, especially with the losses and the damages that he has done in our lives, as far as the evidence about my case as well, with my family trying to act oblivious to the evidence that the state is covering up about Austin abusing me. It's just the racism itself. And for her to try to get a restraining order against me, Cynthia has had a restraining order against Austin at her home, where she has had my child. And this was for him attacking Cynthia before Austin came into my home attacking me. And he has continued to attack people in Cynthia's home since attacking me in my home where she has had my child. So not only is she putting my child in danger, by even trying to keep my child from me, she is continuing to put my child in danger, and they're still continuing to cover it up even after threatening to harm my child by trying to have me with nowhere to go after being released for protecting myself, and just trying to do things to me from location to location, which is just basically covering up evidence about Austin abusing me and about the shooting and why he was shot, and them having my son and threatening to molest him. And it's just been a total hurricane of different ideas that they have decided to try to place upon my life to paint it out a different way, to other people who may not be involved. And so it's a lot of people involved, for me to still be in this position, and still telling the things that I'm telling. And God told me to come to come not to Atlanta. In Atlanta, God told me to come back to Houston. So they ran me from Houston, and I came back to Houston, and she's saying that she has a restraining order. And as a mother, I am very upset that Cynthia threatened to rape my son because I shot Austin in the leg, and that's her son. And she's saying she's a racist white woman. My child father is white, and she's saying that she's racist, and she's going through people in the court that obviously are racist as well, to try to cover up the evidence that Austin was abusing me and say she could have my son. So they're preying on me financially as a black mother because I do not have an apartment anymore. So I don't even have anywhere where I could stay for a couple weeks, a few weeks, get my ID sent to, and, start getting on the bus, going to work, getting my check. I don't have anywhere like that where I don't have people in there trying to bother me about my pregnancy and trying to do things to my child behind my back, a location where it's me and my son again, and I don't have all these people trying to harm me about a shooting. And that's what's going on, and that's what's continuing to happen over since the shooting, and it hasn't stopped. And so when God was showing me the wickedness of my family, it's very important, because I can't keep making videos after videos. I already have a lot of videos explaining what's going on. You either care or you don't, but I'm doing this out of my heart, because you could do me a favor as a family member. You could help me out a little bit as a family member, but it does not outweigh what the Holy Spirit has said about my family and about them being wicked, having a certain amount of wickedness, due to the fact that when I was in the jail, that they were covering up that Austin was abusing me in my apartment. And according to God, that is like so evil for somebody's family. God was like, he was showing it as like, she got every right to really want to be done with y'all for not telling that this man was abusing her and her child, and they threatened to rape my son. They took him while I was incarcerated, threatened to rape and molest him, and said that they did not have to give me my baby back. And so with people trying to say that she has a restraining order, and I got family that knows. So this is a long period of time that I've been outside being set up. So as a mother, when you're a great mom and people take your son and threaten to molest him as retaliation, and you're a great mom, and then you got them over here trying to purposely paint you out a certain way, purposely say you on the streets so we can molest your baby, purposely try to say you're a drug addict so we can molest your baby, personally try to say you're crazy so we can molest your baby, personally try to have your family say, oh, you're a bum so we can molest your baby, personally try to have everybody in office try to ignore your case so they can molest your baby. It is a problem. And then to go and get a restraining order so you can molest my baby, no, it is a problem. And go and get a lawyer because you're white and you got money and you want to molest my baby because I shot Austin. She said she was going to molest him since the time he was 2 years old. He's 4 years old. If she done did something to him, she did it to him at the age where he didn't even know what the hell was going on, but I do. And they know that I know. And that's why she's trying everything she can to keep me from coming over there. And God said when they staged to have me out of that shelter in Atlanta, he said that my son better be alive. So I'm finna light this black and mild. And they know the witchcraft that they doing because you threatened my child. And they know I'm pregnant for real, and that's making it even more wicked because they seeing how much I'm smoking these blacks. And they know that I'm pregnant. It's witchcraft. And my family know I'm pregnant. They all know about the baby. And people want to come past me looking at my stomach and seeing that I'm pregnant and shaking their head and continuing to be racist. How would you feel if somebody, that's what I was saying about some of these guys, like how would you feel if you got in, if something happened and you shot somebody and somebody took your little girl and threatened to rape your little girl? Would you want any of your family trying to cover that up, and then you doing it on a high level like y'all doing some diamond heist or something, continuing to have me outside with my bag, just everybody sitting there plotting? And it's like when you got your own home and people don't like you, stay outside. You don't have no right to come in my house and do nothing to me because you don't like me. And you don't have a right to do nothing to my child because you don't like me. And that goes for any judge, police officer. Don't no police officer have no right to come in my home and hurt me and my child because you don't like us. And Cynthia don't have the right to come in my house and hurt me or my child because she don't like us. And none of the black people that they got trying to hurt me or any of the white people, they don't have a reason to come in my house and try to hurt me because you don't like me. So that's why people don't want to tell the truth about me having a home. Because I ain't bother anybody in the community for anybody to be coming in my home and bothering me and trying to hurt me in my home. then trying to leave me outside with a bag so you can continue to do it. And that just goes to show you that people think they can do what they want to do to people. You in there messing with somebody in their house that has a gun. And I know it's a lot of people that own guns in this country that keep them in their house just like I did. And you could say, but you shot your baby daddy. And I'm going to say, but he was attacking me. Oh, but that's different. What makes it different? Then he just got out of prison. I already don't want to deal with it. Got a child. And he trying to abuse him too. So what make you continue to open your mouth and try to defend him? Or you should have got somebody, people was getting involved. Okay, so what you got to say now? Oh, but you could have did something. What I could have did that the Most High God said that I already did. So I'm not finna go back and forth doing all that humiliating tactics to try to cover up the truth. So he was attacking me in my home. That's the only place I had to lay my head. That's the only place my baby had to lay his head. We living there just fine all the time while Austin in prison. My baby got somewhere to lay his head. I got a room to lay my head. Don't matter how my rent getting paid. If it wasn't getting paid illegally and my rent was being paid legally, my rent was paid. Me and my son was good. So other than the fact that Austin getting out of prison and coming into our home and attacking us and being violent with us in our home, what reason do me and my son have not to have a home? So people think that they could do whatever they want to do to me. And that's the point of trying to leave me with a bag, because even in my home, they were trying to do stuff to us in the neighborhood, but I could go in the house and close the door and, stay inside, which is what me and my son had to do because people was already preying on my son and I in the community while Austin was in prison, and these people are very racist, and Cynthia was doing it as well. And so now he got out of prison and he was attacking me and my son, and I had to run from my home. So for me to be in my house somewhere where I'm supposed to be secure at, you're being racist. And that's all they doing is being racist. And the people in the neighborhood was racist anyway. And that's why it's drug out as long as it did, because they are racist. And they threatened to rape my child because they are racist. But I just go back into me being in my home and having to run from my home because Austin is racist and we got a baby together and he's in there attacking me in my home because he know all these racist people gonna let him do it and get away with it. And then I shot him after he ran me and my baby and was attacking me and my son, and I shot him in the leg. There was a witness, 911 calls, and they took my son and threatened to rape him. And then still trying to set me up with a bag. Still trying to do it. It don't matter what I try to do. Every time they see me making progress somewhere, they hurry up and have the person set me up and make me leave so that they'll keep me with a bag. After you threatened to rape my child, and now you got a restraining order saying I can't come when God said to. So he was attacking me in my home. And to be inside of my home somewhere where me and my son had peace. We sit down and watch Joel Osteen. We sit down and, look at cartoons. We sit down and eat breakfast together. We had a home. All the life where everybody else want to pretend that they got, me and my son had that together. While everybody want to pretend and go on with their life while they trying to do a blood ritual on me and my child and my children, and you don't want to tell the truth. Me and my son was cool because they being racist because Joseph was helping out with the rent. Austin's dad, the Mexican man that threatened to molest my son with them because I shot Austin, he was helping out with the rent. And God said I had a small child and that I got pregnant again when Austin got out. So that's nobody's business about how my rent was being paid. That's racism. If my rent was paid, I'm a grown woman. Respect that. And respect that house was mine. It was in my name for the time being I was leasing. And that was my apartment according to God. And he was attacking me in my home. and he was just released from prison and has a lot of charges. So this is the information that people wanted to drag it out and hurt me and then try to say, oh, forget about it, this and that. No, you threatened to molest my child, and now she's trying to say that she have a restraining order against me for coming and seeing about my child. And they just have everybody trying to lure me from location to location, trying to make it seem like they can try to retaliate against me for shooting Austin in the leg. That's what's going on. And everybody that can see that I'm pregnant, it could be a witness to that. They hurry up and get out of the way and move around and get away from me so that they can't help me or be of any assistance to me at all, and try to sit back and hope to see the worst happen for me. Pregnant with a bag and trying to get my son from people that threaten to molest him, and no place to get stable and just recover from the things they have done while they trying to set me up, tired, pregnant, abused as a drug addict and a prostitute, and that's not who I am. So with all that being said, I have a lot of things that people try to say, oh, you need to get your life together. They just keep abusing somebody over and over again and then try to blame that person and say it's you and you did this, when they know damn well they wouldn't let nobody do the stuff to them that they trying to overlook somebody doing to me. They wouldn't allow it. You could talk about what your grandma did to you. You can talk about what this person did to you. But when somebody is constantly abusing you in your home and keep coming in and out of jail, and they're like, oh, it's your fault you letting them in. That's one thing that now people trying to say it's my fault for having a baby with him. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. You'll do anything to put it off on a black woman. So it's wrong. He already born. Whatever Austin was doing to me and the child is what Austin was doing, and he had to be held accountable for it. And they know I was calling the police, and they trying to make it seem like Cynthia and them helping out with the bills wasn't a big deal with them trying to control what was going on, because me and Austin had a relationship, and she's just trying to cover up the fact that Austin is very violent and abusive. And that's something that if you're going to be a couple, you cannot hide that he is violent and then try to just steal from the woman that he was with, steal a child and steal everything from her, and you don't want to tell that your child is a hellion. And he picking up TVs and crushing them, he tearing off doors, he kicking holes in people's wall, he snatching stuff down, he hitting people, he ramming people in the walls, he abusing people's kids, then he's doing these drugs with needles, and then he's stealing money, and he's turning around, he's stealing people's cars, he's turning around and going running to his mom's house, Cynthia Olvera, where she has my son, and then she's still allowing him to get with more women. He's a grown man, but she's allowing him to bring them up in her house, and then he's still abusing them, and then she's still trying to go through the courts and paint me out a certain way, trying to use the almighty white dollar and the white privilege to try to have these people out here doing stuff to me still, after all this. And God said that she was trying to make me jealous when I was incarcerated for protecting myself. He said that Cynthia was trying to hurry up and get Austin to get with another woman and steal all of my things out of my home to try to make me jealous, because I did not want to be with Austin anymore, and I wanted to get the information out about why I was incarcerated for protecting myself. So when you in your home and somebody is that I'll tell you how our relationship was. It was pretty much on the rocks, where I kind of really didn't want him there in my home anymore. When he was getting out of prison, I kind of had started to move on with my life with my son. That was his biological son, but I was like, I don't want that violence around my son, and I really don't I don't feel the love like that with him the same way, because of the abuse, and I don't want him coming back in my life with that. But I still love him, but I don't want him coming back in my life abusing me. And so he got out and he got me pregnant, and he was continuing to abuse me over a very short time frame, maybe a couple of months of him being out. He was abusing me within a week of him being out, over a couple of months up until the shooting, and he was abusing my son. And so he had destroyed our whole entire apartment, and Cynthia is covering up the evidence and keeping my son. And they are trying to, their surefire way of trying to win is going through the courts and saying that I don't have financial stability. That is their go-to thing right now. And they even got my family trying to open their mouth against me and try to make it seem like I don't have financial stability. And they were trying to say that when I first got incarcerated and I was calling my family like, hey, I need y'all to come and get me out. Austin was abusing me and I shot him. I'm pregnant. I need to get up out of here, whatever. And my family was like, oh, well, they trying to say that you don't make enough money to say that I can protect myself. So I was thinking earlier,